Good morning, guys. I hope you guys are all well. I'm here with Craig this morning and a special guest, Gilda. I'm sure you guys have met her before through some of our other videos. She's the glue to everything and anything that we do. So the topic that we're going to be discussing today is simple, basic, but yet so intricate, and in everyday life it is change. So how does change affect us? How does change affect the business? Personal. We're trying to speak to a lot of other people to see how change has affected them. And we're just going to be discussing it. Nothing too serious, but just have a general chat on that exactly, change. Cool. So Craig, if you want to lead us off there.
Also, I think change is quite a big topic in everybody's life, like you said, and that it can either be taken negatively or positively, which is the main topic that we would like to speak about. So lots of people aren't dealing with change as well as what we think they should or what they can, and lots of people that I've been speaking to over the last week to try and get some information about the topic. I have seen lots of people are struggling with change. It's giving them anxiety, it's giving them stress, it's giving them no sleep. So it is a big topic in everybody's life, but those that I've spoken to that are dealing with change very well are making a big success of themselves. They are happy, they are just very, very content with their life because they understand that change is inevitable, it's in everybody's life, and they are just handling it, they're dealing with it, and it's making them better at the end of the day for it.
So how do you guys think people react to change? Because for me, I say to guys always, it's always about being able to and willing to adapt. But just on that question, how do you guys think people in general deal with change?
I would say as you get older, you're afraid of change.
Yeah.
Definitely, because you're not sure what is out there and what has changed, because you sit in your ways basically. But change is good. For me, it was excellent. I love change. It's always good to learn something new.
For sure. I think you're a prime example of how to deal with change very well. Like, if you guys out there don't really know Gilda's history, she's done many things and lots of different things, and we met her through a school, and once that school decided to change up a few things, we decided to change and to bring Gilda aboard, and she's taken to that change incredibly well. Me personally, I've learned so much from Gilda, so yeah, I think that's a very, very good example. And Craig, like, what would you say in terms of our generation, like the people our age, how do you think they deal with change in a general term of things? Because everybody deals with it differently. But
I would say, I think it depends on different people. Like, I think there's so much information out there these days on how to deal with change, and our generation is the definition of change. So we are a whole new generation. There's internet, there's social media, there's so much change compared to our parents' generations. And I think our generation does deal well with change. I think we go looking for change, maybe a little bit too much. So that's a whole different topic. I think that we do deal well with change. I think some of us don't like it. We don't like to change when it's not our idea to change. You know what I mean? But I think that's everybody. But I think, like I said, with our generation, there's so much information on change that we're easily accessible to that information, that we are actually learning from that. So like myself, I've been flooded with information on how to deal with change. So every day I'm watching videos about what is change, how do you deal with change, how to make it positive for yourself. So for me personally, that's benefited me and shaped my life for a very long time. But yeah, I think, like, going back to the point of Gilda is, why do you think you decided to make that change? Because you obviously had a good job, you were stable, you didn't need to change. Why did you decide to take that on?
100%.
No, I didn't need to change. And in fact, I wasn't into schooling and education and all of that before. I was like totally corporate. You don't ever lose the corporateness. If you do move to whatever company you move or whatever place you move, as long as you still have your background right at the back of your head, it doesn't change. Technology might change. You just go with the flow. It is so easy just to fit in.
For sure.
Definitely.
So like saying that you will never change.
No,
But
I won't change. The job might change. Technology might change. everything else may change, but you are who you are, and you can never change that. So you must just adapt, go with the
Yeah,
flow.
that's awesome. That's
Yes.
very well said. I
And-
think, like with us, what I've seen through a couple of the guys, not just working for us, but a lot of my friends, is they allow the change to change them. You know, so they completely change how they react to certain situations. They completely change how they react to whether, you know, their job is not doing so well, or whether they are now faced with a new, completely different obstacle. Now, I think they go about the sense of, okay, how do I need to change in order to make this work? You know what I mean? Where I think that's in a sense wrong, as to adapt your ways, but not who you are.
So I think, like for me personally, I think that's not being able to identify change, and it's not being able to manage change. It's letting change catch you when you're not expecting
Yes.
it, and being caught off guard and being defensive on change, and not being able to manage change. I think you need to be positive, and you need to be proactive, and you need to be willing to take change on, and just be prepared for change, be expecting change, be looking for change, not waiting for change to come to you, because that's when it's going to change you, like you say. Not you,
sure.
you adapt to change, and you change things for the better. I wanted to ask you something, Gio. So, like what you're saying now about when you're changing jobs, you don't change. Like, I think what I've learned from meeting Gio is that you have changed. Like, you haven't changed, you've stayed the same person, but every job you've had, you've picked up something new.
Absolutely.
So you've changed, and it's been a challenge at the beginning, you've learned something, but every time you've changed, you've got better for it.
Yes,
And I
most
think
definitely.
That's something that everybody can learn from, is that if you aren't scared of change, and you take the risk, and you stay true to yourself, and you still stay true to yourself, you're going to be so much better for it, and you're going to learn something new, and every time change happens.
I think people are so
Yes,
fixated on being afraid of what could happen that they fight change completely, you know. So, like you guys have both mentioned, it's just all about going with the flow. It's about trying to adapt as much as possible, but not changing your essence, your core. Because unfortunately, and fortunately, change is everywhere. Like if you look, the environment, the climate is changing, the economy is changing. There's so little jobs. There's so, you know, much more technology. Now, how do you go about changing everything else without yourself, you know? So
What would you guys say is, how do you handle that? So let's go one by one and say, how would you handle that? What do you think is the best way to go about that?
I think for me, how I deal with change and something like that is, for the first while, I will absorb as much as possible and try and see, okay, cool, how is it changing? Cool, it's changing, but how? And then what do I now need to do to adapt and to then not necessarily overcome it, but work with it, to join in that current of
So
change.
to identify the change
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
and know what you're working with, and then
Yeah.
be able to make a strategy of how you're going to deal with it.
Definitely. Because I'm not the type of person, like, I'll jump into something, I'll take risks in a sense, but I want to first find out what I'm getting myself into. Not to say that I'm never going to do it, but it's a process, you know. So for me, that's what I would do.
No, that's
and
what
what
I
I will
would.
do.
And G, what did you
Yeah,
say?
no, I agree with Jordan as well. You don't have to be afraid of change. You must just get in there, do it. You know what you want to do. You know how you want to do it. You just need to really love it. Have a passion for it, and it will take you far. It will take you wherever you want to go. You don't have to be stressed. You don't have to be unhappy. Nothing. It just gets better and better and better all the time. Change is good.
Yeah, like I think both of your points work so well together, and like I would just add on top of that, so identify the change, be calm and collected, and understand it's not going to hurt you, it's just going to make you better. And like in the situation that Jordan's speaking about in our country especially, there's so much change, but for me, I would make it a positive situation, is to realize that there's so much opportunity in that. Like there's unlimited opportunity, there's so much change, and there's so much new things going on. Why can you not take advantage of that and be something new, and be something that people are looking forward to in that new situation? You know what I mean? It's the opportunities are endless there. You're not right at the bottom of the food chain. It's everyone for themselves. You know what I mean? You can definitely take advantage of that. If you are willing to identify it, be calm and relaxed, not change yourself. Look for opportunity in the change and go for it.
I think where people make mistake, in a sense, like I'm not saying, you guys are doing wrong and, don't do that. But people change their circumstance out of fear. So a lot of my friends are immigrating because, there's no job and what are we going to do? And the economy is going to crash. But I don't know, in my mind, you've hit it right on the nail there, Craig. Is like, there's going to be so much opportunity now. There's going to be so many other doors open. Why are you leaving because you are afraid? If you want to leave for other reasons, cool, go for it. But I just think you need to find a positive reason for either immigrating or changing your job, changing the way you look, or, like if I'm using another example, if you want to go to gym, don't gym because you're afraid that if you're not fit in the next 20 years, you're going to die young, or whatever the case may be. Go to gym so that you can become healthier. I want to be healthier. You know what I mean? Like,
make a change for the positive.
Yeah, try and find the positive in your change.
So yeah, at least in our country we know what's happening. So now they're all running away. What is out there for them? They don't even know. What are they going to do? Are they going to
you don't know what you're looking for.
There's like just limited jobs
and
there.
People can argue, but I'm changing the situation.
Exactly.
But why? Why are you changing it? Because you're afraid, or because you're gonna go out there and you're gonna make it work. You're gonna find a new job. You're gonna meet new people. That is like your
why.
Your why. Yeah, 100%. So I don't know. I don't quite understand. Each one to their own. This is just my opinion, but I don't fully yet understand it. I don't blame them for it. I don't think they're doing wrong, but I don't know.
I think also like what you're saying is, and that can help anybody with dealing with changes, that you need to know why. You need to know why are you doing it, why are you changing, why are you not changing. Like you've seen, we've had so many opportunities to change and to do other things, but is it right for us? Is it what we want to do? Is it going to make us happy at the end of the day? Is it going to make us feel good about ourselves? Is it our vision? Is it what we really want to, what we want to be doing? So you can say no to change. But at the end, the change is going to come eventually. You need to decide how are you going to change. And you need to know why are you doing it? Why are you living? What do you want to live for? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to be both? Just identify and know yourself and be willing to, and don't be scared of change. Take control.
I think the big thing you can take away from that is just to see how far you have come as an individual and see why and how you did that. Was it through doing it for other people? Was it through believing in yourself 100%? Or was it a mixture of different things? Your belief system, your family values, things like that. Because I think the main thing that people need to understand and need to go ahead with anything when it comes to change is just to be 100% committed to it. Be 100% into what you want to achieve.
Yes.
Don't doubt yourself whatsoever. I'm not saying it's not going to be scary. It's going to be scary. It's going to be difficult. But if you believe, you have faith, and you are like, no matter what happens, things will be okay, and I will make it okay. Yeah, back yourself. Go for it. Just do it.
Don't stop until you get there or until it's done.
Yeah, don't stop till you get enough. Yes.
Don't stop.
For sure.
I think that's also a big thing, is that people give up too soon.
Absolutely.
Like, just don't stop until you know it's over, until it's done. And like, so this is all like very theoretical, which change is about. But like for me, I think another big thing that people need to focus on is actually doing the work. Yes. So it's all good and well to say, I want to change, I want to become a doctor. I apply for medical school, I'm making change happen, I don't get in. Now it's over, I've tried it, it's
done.
So that doesn't help me. You need to actually put the work in if you want change, if you want to make real change. You need to actually put the work in, you need to go study, you need to work hard, you need to do research on how do I get into medical school? How can I be the best doctor? Even once I become a doctor, how am I going to stay there? How am I going to treat my patients the best?
Are you going to work the same?
There might be a change where I lose my job. I might need to
Yes.
go look for another practice. I might start my own practice.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, you're always going to have to put work in. Change comes with work. Whether it's going to be positive, whether it's going to actually make me happy in the future, whether it's going to make me successful, it's going to make me reap rewards from the hard work I put in, or it's going to make me do hard work and I'm going to have to suffer for it at the end of the day because I didn't put the work in, I didn't be proactive, I wasn't positive about it, and now I'm suffering for it. And I'm going to have to put that work in again.
For sure.
So I
You
think
10 times more,
Yeah.
because whenever you want to
Definitely.
grow or change in the sense of, you know, take another avenue, you can't be putting in the same amount of work, you know, like if you're coaching, right, and now you want to have your own franchise, you can't just be coaching, you can't just be a great coach, you have to do so much more and be a great coach, you know what I mean? And that's where it becomes a challenge for some, because then it becomes a criticism, and you know, you've now taken that leap, you've wanted to do this, but you're not doing what you were told to do in the beginning. How are you going to achieve what you
So
set
I
out
mean,
to
like
achieve?
we can use a practical example now. I think people are comfortable to understand what's going on. So I'm sure we can use a practical example, like for a small business. Like when we started out with our business, I could have either chosen to wait for things to happen, wait for me to go bankrupt or to start losing money where I need to go and work hard, work late nights, work early mornings to go find money to support the business. Or I could have done, or you could choose to do what I did, that's decide I need to get money, I need to make a change, I need to be productive and work hard, work late nights, work early mornings to get the money so that doesn't happen. It is still going to happen at some point, but rather be prepared for that, be prepared for the change.
Yes.
Don't wait for change to come to you and catch you off guard. And then, like you say, you're going to be on the back foot.
For sure.
Yeah, no, that's the worst thing ever. To let change get to you first.
Yeah.
100%.
You have to be one step ahead all the time.
100%, yeah. As difficult as that is. You
Yeah,
need to, you know,
you
'cause
need to.
this is not easy. None of this is easy.
Yeah,
Nothing
life
will
is
ever
not
be
easy.
Yeah.
Life is
No,
not easy.
life's not easy. You have
But
to be on top of it
Yeah.
all the time.
So I think going back to our initial topic of change is something to relate to us is our videos. So we decided to firstly bring Gilda into today's video, and also just to change a little bit the setup, also the chairs, see how that would bring out in a new dynamic. I for one much prefer these chairs. 'Cause,
They
Then
are
have to
comfy.
fidget.
they were terrible. So yeah, and how we have changed, well, not how we have changed, but how we've tried to adapt to, you know, what was the audience looking for in a sense, because we've had a look to see how long are people watching our video, how many views we got to a certain point, how many shares, and we were actually quite surprised to see the other day Craig showed me that we actually got quite a few shares this time on our previous video. So we are trying to change the things we are talking about, the things we are doing, how we do it, but to be honest, I don't really care if this video, if you guys have watched up to this point, because we are doing this for a reason. We are not changing what we are trying to achieve or how we are going to try and do that or who we are. We are just going to try and move into that current of flow and see, okay, cool,
Change
how
for the
did
better.
yeah,
Yes,
how did the other
definitely.
guys
Change for
do
the
it,
better, yeah.
you know? So I think we've come a long way with the videos, and
Yeah, and
we've
it's
got
not
a
easy,
hell of
so-
a long way to
I
go.
mean, even I'm sure anybody out there who wants to come and do this and do videos and stuff will realize it's not easy. It is easy once you do it, once you get used to it, and once you push past the change. It's not something that it comes naturally. Like, gee, how did you feel about sitting in the beginning, the first few minutes of doing
I
the
was
video?
like, so, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that most people never ever do in their whole life.
No.
And it's not something that's difficult, and the only thing that can come from this change with us is something great. You know, if it doesn't work, what do we lose from it? We gained some experience, we gained skills from it, we gained knowledge. So we put in a little bit of change. It was a bit awkward, a little bit of hard work in the beginning, but it can only be something great for us.
For sure.
So I think change, let's end on that note. And to recap change, what would be the top tips as you guys would say for somebody? Let's keep it short. Like identify the change.
commit to the change.
Commit, be calm, realize it's not going to hurt you.
No.
It's only going to benefit you, whether it's negative or positive, it's only going to hurt you. Commit, take control, and put the work in, and don't give up.
And it gets better.
It's only going to get better.
That's
100%.
it.
And what happens once you've achieved your goal or your change?
Do it again.
Do it again. Find something else.
Absolutely.
100%.
Do it again, guys.
Do it again.
Lots of
Don't
things
stop.
out there.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
don't stop. So change is inevitable, and just deal with it, and you guys will be okay.
So if you guys have watched this video up to this point, we appreciate it. We look forward to the next one. We've got no idea what we're going to do yet, but we'll
If you have
figure
any
that
ideas,
out.
let us know.
100%.
Yes.
If you want to see more, subscribe, share, like the video, and
Definitely.
we appreciate all the support. So
Awesome,
thank you
guys.
guys very
Thank
much.
That was
you.
great.